Hello everyone and welcome back again to my YouTube channel. Today I'll be taking you on how to create this realistic 3D model in Spline. To start off, we would need to import our images to guide us so we don't actually model this blindly. So I would be doing that by coming here to import. I would be choosing because I'm using a picture, and I would be selecting them because I already got them from the Apple website. So now they are already imported. And now what I'm going to do is this. I would readjust this to fit for what we are trying to get. So it should be by the side. Should actually be by the side, right? And then we would be doing something again, taking this again, which you would understand very soon why we are doing all this. So it's to get like a 3D view of what we are trying to do. So come in here, making sure it is the same or very similar at least. Okay, so you don't need it to be so perfect like how I'm trying to do mine, right? But I'm just trying to make it a bit perfect so it's close to what we want, right? Yeah, so we have something there. Yes. So now we can take this guy to the side. Yeah. So now reset back. Yeah. So now to start this, we would be breaking it down into basic shapes. This is a rectangle. This is comprising of a circle, rectangle for the buttons. Very basic, right? So now what we are going to be doing is this. We would be coming here to add and add a rectangle. You already have them here, but you can come here also, either choose from here or choose from here or use the shortcut R. So use the shortcut R and you see because of this, it is asking us to overlay it on this. So if you tap on this, it just gives you a this thing that I can work with. I've deleted that. I'm going to use R and try to draw it out. I would be drawing it out and trying to get the particular shape and width, height, and yeah. So now we would be doing this. So we have this here, and coming down here, trying to make sure we get like the proper detailings as close as possible it is, right? Yeah, so now we have this, right? And now you'll be asking how do we then get the corners? So we come here to corners, increase, and we change to arch. So you see that it does a better one, right? So now we would be changing to C. So let's see. So let's make it 96. Yeah. So now we have 96, and you can see that the corners are rounded. So now you'd be asking how do we then get like a 3D view of this, right? So now we would come back here because you can see it's flat. Come back here to extrude, and you can see it's giving a 3D feel already of it. So now that's why we had this side, right? So now we have our extrude, and we would keep taking it to see which is a bit closer one. Um, so let's take this back in and bring this forward a bit so we can get. So now you can see 45 is actually a good fit. So yeah, we can take this back out. Yeah, can take this back out. We would be coming back to use that. But that's like for the side view. And now we have this guy. Um, we can just do a quick coloring thing. Come here. Um, sorry, not the lighting, the color here. I can use our color picker. Pick this out. We can also still adjust this a bit. Add a bit of saturation into it. Yeah, something around that. Yeah. Now we have this, and we can reduce the lighting to like 20. So we have this, right? So now what we'll do now is this. To get this particular metallic feel, what we'll do is this. We would come here, add add a material, then change to metcap, sorry. Then we change, select this, and we change to a reflective, right? So I would be going with this. And now you can see it has this reflective feel. What we would then do is reduce the opacity to like 20. But you can see it's still having, it still has that feel, right? And you can actually change it to an overlay, so that gives it a better feel. Can you see how reflective that is? So now we have this. We can then do this and add this. I call this blue glass, right? Just so it can save us time because we will be reusing this later on. So now the next one we'll do is we will rename this to outside. So now let's duplicate Ctrl D and we'll call this one inside or inner, one of the two. Let's just go inside. So now we would then deselect this, hide this, and now we have deselected. So what we are going to be doing is resizing this. The reason why we are resizing this is because if you look at this, we have a blue and we have a black before we have the screen, right? So we are trying to create this black now. So now we have this, and now we come here, just so I am holding my shift and option. I use a Mac, so I'm holding those while I try to do the resizing. So it's basically resize on all angles. But now what I'm going to do is it would not give, like it will give a perfect shape. So I'm trying to just select and drag the top and select and drag the bottom because they have like a longer side than the left and right side. Basically, the length is a bit um, longer than the width. So now we would be coming here. This was 45 before we can make it about 40. This has reduced already because we reduced that. So let's make it 45. We'll still modify that later. So now our extrusion for the corners, we would be working reducing this. Let's make it an 88. So now we have 88 here. And what do we do now? So we can always just come here and do what? Make a copy. So this is what I did. Came here to this, and now you see double click, right click actually. I'm using my two fingers for my mark. So duplicate, and we have this which we can rename to a black glass. Reason why you would figure that now. So now we come here to modify and we change this color to this color. You can just give it a full black, right? Almost black, right? So now you see we have a black and we have this. So now, selecting this, we have this black, and then you would see that if I select this one out, let me hide this background one. You can see we already have something already coming together. We have the back and we have the right. So now reset back, and then put this back on. Yeah. We're meant to delete the rectangle, we didn't delete that, so that's why. So now we have this now to create the screen. So let us hide this and this. And what we would do now, we would be doing the same thing again. The rectangle tool. Then now we come here, drag this out. Trying to just make sure they're this close to perfect, right? Because one thing I noticed on the Apple website is their images used when you use them outside or when you download them, they are very close to the actual dimensions of their product. So this would make us have like a very close up thing. So now we have this, and we would be naming this main screen. Now we'll change this to arc. We won't need to extrude this, right? We can, but I would not advise to extrude this at the moment. Well, we can. I think we will do that much later. But what I'm going to do is the corners, we would reduce these corners. So the reason why we are doing that is to get this particular angle here. Let me adjust this a bit. So now the corners, it's like a 30, 32. Let's go with the 30, right? So now we can make this white. Just make this white to denote the screen. So we have this white. So now we have these guys here and here. So now you can see that the screen has gone, has disappeared, right? And this is why I said we would be needing to probably extrude. So there are two ways around it. You can just bring this guy forward, or you can extrude this guy to be a 45 also, or a 46 most likely. So a 46 in the sense that it has a layer above it, right? So that will make it easier for us to get. So you can see the back. This is the back actually. Yeah. So it is going to affect this too. So let's just take it back um, to 0. Take this guy forward and make sure, yeah, it is lying on top, right? So we have this guy. Let's just say we are done with the screen for now. We will come back to all of that. So now we hold on our shift again, select, and control G, command G, right? And we do what we rename this as body plus screen. So now we come here and what do we do? The next thing, the buttons, very, very key. So now, same thing again, as I said, we are breaking everything down into very basic shapes. So now we have our rectangle here. We have the rectangle here, and what would we do then? Corner. Arc again, then the corner. Let's try to confirm. Corner, so we need just a very, very little. But we can make it smooth. Smooth also gives like um it's pretty similar, yeah. Very similar. The differences are just very minute. But yeah, we would actually have this. But one thing about this rectangle is that this particular side, when we then choose to extrude, you would notice something. So let's extrude to, let me extrude this way because I would like you to see this. So now we extrude and you would see that, let me add the corner a little bit more so you can understand. So you can see the corner is going going this way, not this way, not on the top, right? And we need this corner on the top. So what we're going to do, we'll rotate this 90 and then come here and drag this out. Yeah, take it here. So now we would need to come to this other side, remembering this guy we used. So we have this guy and okay, let's take it back. Yeah, so this is showing us the outline. So we can just use this modifier and take it all up. So now we have this. Let's go back again. I take this guy in. You can modify this actually. You can actually modify this. Yeah. So now we have this guy and this is our button. You can see the button already. So now don't forget this button has the same feel with this. So what are we going to be doing? We would just come here. That's why we made this component to make it a lot faster. So now we have this guy here. So you can see we have this guy already. We have this already. So now to make the volumes by the side, just come here. Let's name this power button. Duplicate and call this volume button. Duplicate again because we need. Okay, not now. So let's control this. So now we're going to take this into 90 degrees and take it to the right. And what we'd be doing, bringing it to the side. So now we have this side here. So we are going to work on this outline to get this. So let's take this to the side and take this to the side. Yeah, and adjust this one and then adjust this guy here. Great. So we have that sorted already. And now we come to the side view to be sure that we have the same sizing for this. So now we just have to bring this guy up a bit. Yeah, so we have this way. Now come here, select to get the second key. Come to the side again. Now direct this guy down so we can have it in a proper sizing. Yeah, so we have it this way. So now I think we are good with the side view, right? So we can hide this so it doesn't affect our stuff. You can actually see now that we already have our buttons in place, right? This is our button in place. So now you'll be asking, is this all? No. So now we have to do the back, which is the camera. And now for this camera, what are we going to be doing? Very simple again, basic shape. So let me duplicate this and I would be doing something because I'm trying to get, so I'm trying to get it to be similar sizing with this. Yeah, so yeah, looks like it is. So what we're going to be doing is this. Sorry, what we are going to be doing is this. I need to hide this one. Yeah, so this one, the reason why I'm doing this is this. So I'm going to rotate this 180 degrees, minus 180 actually. Yeah, minus 180. So now we have this one. Okay, first. So we have this, and let's take it back by 25 or 30. Let's try it at 30 to see how that works. So I'm going to do something here. Come here, reduce your opacity to 50 so I can actually see it properly. So I'll just use this to direct it. And make sure I'm getting the proper thing. Make sure I'm getting the proper thing. So you'd notice also that it looks like the sizing is not appropriate, right? So I can always choose to just resize this to fit. So I'm holding my shift while I drag this out, right? To get this out. Yeah. So all this because why? I want to get a proper sizing for this. So we don't have issues at all. So now we have this, and let's get as close as we can to this. So now we have this, right? So yeah, now what are we doing next? We're trying to get the camera next. So now we come to basic shape again. And what do we do with this circle? Hold down your shift so you can actually get, because if you don't hold down your shift, you don't have a perfect circle. So you hold down your shift when you're using the box, I mean the rectangle or the circle, to get like a very equal sided um, object basically. So now we have this, and I'm going to come here, tap on this so it is properly aligned. So now I come here. So now I can let go. Okay, no, not letting go yet because I'm still going to need it. So you can always resize also with these guys, these buttons here. So now I have this. I am going to do this to try to get the sides properly. I have this. Let me increase this again. So I'm holding shift and option so it goes both ways. So I'm not just increasing one side and having to drag so it does both sides. So let's try again to increase a little bit more. Yeah, so this is okay. So now we're going to be doing this, right? And what we'll be doing now, let me do this so it is a lot faster. So we would have this, which is the what? Cameras body, right? Then duplicate, take this down, reduce this, bring it down here, reduce again, bring it here, reduce again. Yeah. So now this is going to be the one flash light. So now come back to this, and what do? We would be working with this to extrude. So we would be extruding, coming here, extruding to like about, I say 30, right? We have 30, and we come to the side and you can see it's actually a lot. So what do? We're going to drag this in a bit because some parts would actually have to be in. And then we reduce the extrusion to about, yeah, a 5, or let's make it a 6 because they would always have like surfaces. If we say we are making it a 10, I feel that would be a lot. Okay, we can still try to work with the 10. The 10 is still okay. So now we have this, and now you'll be saying, so how do we get this? So again, being the major material and all of that, we're going to resize this. So now we have this side, and what do? So we come here to this ring and we do this. So the ring is helping us create a body around it, right? So now I'm going to reduce this to about, let's say, 86 or 88. Let's say 88. Yeah, let's just say 88. And now we do this, duplicate and main camera. Okay, lens actually, right? So now what do we now do now? We then do the sizing, reduce this using this sizing, right? Do this, get the proper one, right? And then the extrusion is still 10, right? And what do? The ring, we take the ring out. So now we do this, we unlink that, and we come here to give us, instead of colors, we change this to image. So now for the image, we would be importing a lens image, right? So yeah, to import this lens image, can you see we already have something here already? So we have this, and next we come down here, same thing, a little bit of extrusion. Let's do this as 6. Let's make this 10 also, right? Come to the side, the red, and then take this in. Yeah, just give it a little. So now we then come and change this to a bit of a white. Yeah, a white. And then we add a bit of this. We come here, add Fresnel. Fresnel, or let's just make it a noise instead to give it. We can always change this, or we can come here and make a Fresnel instead. And the noise would actually be a lot better, because this way it should help us with creating what we want. So let me take this off so we can see. So now we are on the flashlight and we have the noise, and then what we are going to do is this. There are different modes to use, simple, all of this here. So this gives a very similar case to a flashlight, right? So let's try to add and switch this up a bit to give it more vibes of a light, right? Yeah. So then we can also add this again, because there's going to be like a glassy feel on it. So matte cap. So we do this, then we take this to like 20, and we add overlay. So now we have this guy. You can see we've already created this already. Done beautifully, right? And if we put on this, you can actually see we have the front, we have the back, right? Take this back to 100. We have the back, we have the back, right? Properly done. So now, what do we do? I'm deleting that because we won't be needing that anymore. So now you would ask that, so how do we get around with this? So now I'm going to do this, the grouping. I always try to group. So this is camera and light, and then come here, the volume keys. So now we group this as volume, buttons. So we have this, and we have this. So now we can let go of these guys. Now we have our 3D version of this already, right? So now you would probably be saying, so how do we do the screen change, right? So now we come here, body and screen, come to the main screen, then we come here, we do this. So we can either switch this. So I would also like to do this. So I realized that we did not add this earlier. So the Met cap also, we did not add this. So we would be doing this too, to give the same glass feel, because we all need a glass feel, right? So we are layering it up, and then we're making this, switching this from color to an image, and we would be uploading. So let's pick one of the images from Apple. which is this. But in the case of Apple, they made it the other way. So what will we do now? We come here to rotate to 90. So now we have this, and yes, I think that is pretty much it. So let's imagine you want to make changes, and then this is everybody together, group it, iPad M3, that's blue. So now I'm going to duplicate this and drag to the side because I want to make a yellow version of this. So I would come here and come to this, duplicate, let's call this what? Come here, call this what? Yellow, yellow plus. So now I'm going to change this to, I've already deleted that, so I don't have the image anymore. So we would be going with the yellow. Yellow. So yeah, you can see that we just needed to change just one thing. We've changed everything. Now you have your slick 3D model, which you created in Spline. If you found this helpful, drop a like, subscribe for more design tutorials, and let me know what you'd like to see next. Catch you in the next one. Bye.